New Premier of Victoria will be decided today after the resignation of Daniel Andrews. Jacinta Allan is shaping up as the favourite to take the job. Reporter Courtney Withers is following developments and joins me now from Melbourne. Courtney, what do we know about Jacinta Allan and the leadership race?
Good morning, Karina. Well, it certainly was a shock announcement yesterday that took everyone by surprise. The Premier said, when it's time to go, it's time to go. Now, in terms of who might take the next big role from the current Premier, Daniel Andrews, it's a little bit up in the air at the moment, but we do know Jacinta Allan, Deputy Premier, does have quite a lead in the race at the moment. Now, in terms of how the next Premier will be determined, the Labor caucus will be meeting at midday today after some in-faction separate meetings this morning to determine some numbers separately. Now, they will be meeting at midday, and as per Labor protocols, the position needs to be open for 3 days, and there will be an interim Premier, but they, in their protocols, that person can't be the person that is going to be Premier. However, we have heard some whisperings this morning here at Parliament House that some Labor MPs are wanting to overturn and kind of bypass that Labor protocol and actually elect the 49th Premier of Victoria today. So, Karina, we might actually know who the Premier is going to be. Now, in terms of what the Premier Daniel Andrews has said yesterday, he said he was quite tight-lipped. He didn't say who he thinks his successor will be. However, he has in the past been very publicly supportive of Deputy Premier Jacinta Allan and has said before that he thinks she should take his role. However, he was tight-lipped and he said he won't be playing into party politics and he'll be leaving it up to his colleagues to decide. It also means that there will be a by-election in the seat of Mulgrave, the Premier's seat, so we'll wait to hear about that as well.
Courtney, has there been further reaction this morning to Daniel Andrews' resignation?
Yes, lots of reaction this morning and yesterday. Lots of politicians and public figures out yesterday speaking about the Premier's resignation. We heard from Prime Minister Anthony Albanese wishing him well and thanking him for his service specifically during the pandemic. We also heard from some colleagues of the Premier, specifically the former Victorian Health Minister Martin Foley, who he worked quite closely with during the pandemic. Here's him speaking to News Breakfast this morning, saying that the next person has quite the big shoes to fill.
Whoever gets forward as the nominee has a big job in front of them, has a great legacy to build on, whether it's Jacinta, whether it's any number of other capable people. The Victorian government is in safe hands for the future. There's a lot to do, there's a lot of challenges, but what you'll see is an experienced but refreshed team able to take Victoria well into the future.
Of course, we've also heard some criticism as well from other people, including opposition leader John Pesutto. He was quick to talk out yesterday and say that the Premier leaves Victoria in a worse state, a broken state. He has been out this morning and he said he's been speaking about the Premier's exit and what his thoughts are on the next person to take the job. Here he is.
We do have to face facts, and the facts are that the place is falling apart, and there are a lot of challenges that the Victorian government faces and a lot of things Victorians are paying for because of that waste and incompetence. There's a lot of work to do for the new leader, whoever it is, and frankly I'm not sure that much will change. It'll still be the same Labor Party running the government.
Now, we still might not know earlier today or this afternoon who the Premier will be, but we're going to wait and see what happens with that midday meeting. The ABC does understand Jacinta Allan, the Deputy Premier, does have quite a majority support with the left faction of the party. Of course, another person's name in the ring is Public Transport Minister Ben Carroll. Now, he's expected to take the role of Deputy Premier. He has quite a support in the right faction of the party. Karina will keep more details throughout the morning, but a monumental political day here in Victoria.
Courtney Withers reporting from Melbourne.